Hey everybody, welcome to Friday. Welcome to the weekend. It's time to look at some jersey concepts as usual on the channel. If you're new, my name is Neil. Welcome to Post to Post. Every Friday on this channel we look at jersey concepts. Sometimes I sprinkle in the other concepts, maybe it's a helmet, maybe it's a skate, maybe it's something, well, not skate, not yet. That's coming actually. But usually it's jerseys. And this weekend, this Friday, it is jerseys like usual. We got a new template though. It's not sports template, it's a different template. So we're going to look at that. That's kind of neat. But we've got two jerseys for every single team. So Orion Taylor is the designer here. Awesome name, by the way. He submitted 32 teams, 32 times 2. That's 64. We're looking at 64 jerseys in this video. And I've seen these, okay? This isn't a reaction video. I've actually looked at these and I've ranked them. So we're going to kind of switch back to a ranking, maybe do another reaction next Friday, but ranking for this video. So let's just get into it. Like I said, rank these 1 to 32. My least favorite is 32. That's where we're going to be starting. Moving all the way to my favorite, which is number 1. Let's go. Okay, starting off number 32, I've put the Philadelphia Flyers. And I will say that even though this is last, and even though the ones you're about to see after this are near the bottom, I think Orion's done a fantastic job throughout this entire series of NHL teams. And I just want to give him a round of applause ahead of time because he's done such a great job. So even though this is last, there are definitely lots of things that I like about it. So just kind of keep that in mind. This is definitely one of the better sets that I've ever gotten on the channel. So I'll talk about what I don't like first. So it's really just one thing, okay, guys? It's the logo itself. I don't see that specific logo being a primary logo on a Philadelphia jersey, regardless if it's home or away, or an alternate, or a specialty jersey. It just feels so much like a shoulder patch to me that I can't just visually accept that could be a primary logo, even with the primary logo small on the shoulder. Even though that looks really good, I actually really like the Flyers logo on the shoulder. I think it looks, wonderful. But that primary logo is really kind of ruining it for me. But the rest of the jersey, I absolutely love. The white one specifically feels so appropriate and classic for the Philadelphia Flyers. They have such a specific and unique design on their home and aways that it's odd to see their color combination and their brand on a more generic kind of striping jersey, but I really do think it works. So even though this is last, I would say that I like the jersey overall, just not the logo in the middle. And there's a couple of examples of that coming up. Okay, so next we've got the Vegas Golden Knights, and I think going with that alternate logo, which is the shoulder patch, it's kind of the opposite for Philadelphia. I can see this working as a primary logo because it already exists. It's on the reverse retro. So seeing it on different style jerseys works for me personally, but I don't think either of these jerseys are better than the current home and away. I like both of them. The gold one, it's hard to visualize because you can't see the fleck, but both of these are very nice, but I think Vegas has such strong home and away that it's really going to be hard to top that. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I ranked this one down so low. Next is the Vancouver Canucks. I've ranked 30th here in my list. And I love the approach to this because he's really thinking outside the box and not going with the norm and trying to come up with something that's new but also is within the brand at the same time. So we've got a variation of the Johnny Hockey logo there in the middle. I think that's okay. It would also look good as a shoulder patch, but I accept it as a primary as well. The V that's at the bottom that's colorized, that is part of their history. It wasn't necessarily in that location or in those colors, but I understand it and it is applicable. However, it's not my favorite thing on the jersey. It's pointing towards the crotch, and that's always a bit awkward. So I would say there's lots of elements I like about both of these jerseys, but not that V down there in the middle. Specifically, the thing I like the most is the shoulders on the white jersey. The collar and the shoulders and the way that green, thin line comes across the front of the shoulders, that is absolutely brilliant. I love that, Orion. Okay, next, ranked 29th is the Edmonton Oilers. So the Oilers have such a great brand. It's really hard to screw up. And even though I don't like the primary logo on here, so kind of like Philadelphia, I don't really like the primary logo on this jersey. The rest of the jersey is very nice. They just have a great color combination. They have a great history of colors, and Orion's put it to work here, and I think it does look really good. The logo itself, though, looks like a shoulder patch to me, just not a primary logo. But I liked the overall jersey, the overall color combination a little bit more than the Philadelphia Flyers one. So same reasoning, just prefer this colorization and the striping. Chicago is next, and kind of for the same reason, to be honest. I love the fact that he threw in a black jersey there for the home jersey. That's got to happen. Not necessarily for a home jersey, but maybe an alternate or a specialty. They need a black jersey that kind of really matches their home and away, and that's a good example. However, the logo in the front, although it's a cool kind of take on, something new, to me it just looks like he's wearing 4 ties, because you're taking those feathers and instead of them being sideways, kind of, I guess they're not technically sideways on the head, but they're kind of, you're combining that graphic with another graphic so it melds and fits together. And it's on the back of the head as well in their primary logo. But when you remove the head and just have the feathers coming down, and you're making them bigger, they're almost the same size as a tie, and they look like ties, and there's 4 of them, and they all come to a knot in the middle up here. So I just see ties, and I just don't think I don't think it fits visually on the front of the jersey. So I'm gonna say no to the primary logo, but the rest of the jersey, both jerseys are is excellent. The white one specifically, the shoulders on there, that reminds me a lot of, I think it was either a Stadium Series or a Winter Classic. I think it was the Stadium Series against Minnesota, possibly, from a couple of years ago in the Reebok years. That's what the white jersey reminds me of, and I like it a lot. Number 27, I put the Detroit Red Wings. Nothing I really hate about this, but nothing I love. The shoulder patch on there is a bit unrealistic. I've said this a couple of times in the past couple of videos for these jersey concepts. Detroit doesn't really use a lot of shoulder patches, so I think it's probably slightly unrealistic that that's on there. But with that said, of all the concepts that I've seen of Detroit having shoulder patches, that's the best. It just looks clean. It fits appropriately. The logo in the middle is a logo that they've used in the past, and although it works, the jersey's still a little bit boring for me, so I would just kind of consider this to be an average jersey. Number 26, I put the New York Islanders, and although I like the rest of the jersey, it's the logo. Again, don't want to sound like a broken record, but that's kind of how I feel with this one. I've never been a fan of that one in the middle, and that's really what it comes down to. Number 25, I put the Detroit Red Wings. Jeez, I saw red. The New Jersey Devils. I like the primary logo. It feels quite modern, but matched with the original 1992 colors or 1982 colors or whatever it was that they came in. It's just not working for me for some reason. I don't feel like this is a hockey jersey. I feel like this is a gas station logo on the front. Even though I like it and it's very modern, it just feels like a gas station logo. And I'm not from the United States, so I don't think we have this gas station in Canada. But I've been in the United States a lot, and I feel like I've been to a gas station with this color combination, with kind of even just like a similar logo, just looking off of my peripheral vision. I'm not sure. I need some help on this one. If I'm thinking of some, a gas station, maybe I'm totally off basis here, and I'm just sounding crazy. But if you know what I'm talking about, please tell me what it is down below in the comment section. I can't think of the name of it or the logo itself. It just reminds me. Okay, number 24, put the Florida Panthers. That white jersey is incredible. I absolutely love it. Now, Florida does have, in my opinion, the nicest away jersey in the NHL currently, so it's pretty hard to top that. So it's not better, but it's still very good. I like it a lot. But again, it comes down to the primary logo. I don't like that shoulder patch design, which they use on the front. It looks out of place, and it's so boxy along the bottom. It just feels a little awkward. It almost looks like a TV on the front of a jersey, and I know that's silly to say, and I love the state flag. I love that it's on there, but I much prefer the current logo over that one as the primary. Number 23, the LA Kings, and he made a brilliant choice going with the original purple and original yellow. That's got to happen for LA sometime soon. I'm excited for it, but the primary logo on here, I would have gone a different way. I would have gone more of the reverse retro style and maybe threw that on the shoulders, or maybe not used it at all. It's just a little bit too classic for me. Number 22, but the San Jose Sharks. I love the fact that he kind of went with the anniversary edition style here. Maybe the white one's a little bit better just because I'm so used to the dark version. It's not identical to the one that actually exists, but it's close. So the fact that the white one is kind of what we want but didn't get makes me like the white one a little bit more. But I have to say, again, I prefer the current San Jose Sharks logo over the one he's used here. It's just such a strong logo. That logo has really not changed since the early 90s when the Sharks came into the NHL, and for good reason. It's amazing, so I don't want to see it come off of the primary spot in the front of the jersey. But with that said, that logo that he put on there is a nice logo, and it would probably work okay maybe as an alternate, but just not my favorite for home and away. Okay, Colorado's next in 21st position, and usually I rank Colorado pretty high, but I've decided to put them down a little low because they have, again, such a strong primary logo that it deserves to be on their home and away. I don't think they could have a home and away that doesn't have that on there. And while I like that C logo, you guys like that, and I love the addition of the little mountains in there. I think that's brilliant. I still do prefer kind of their primary logo. Number 20, the Nashville Predators. I like the kind of mix between home and Winter Classic, or home and away and Winter Classic here. So they're different, but you can kind of see where the melding has happened. And although I would prefer the home to not use yellow, I think it looks okay in yellow. I definitely go with the blue if it was up to me, but the white one specifically looks, I mean, it looks 100% perfect. Like, I wouldn't change anything about it. I think Orion nailed that one out of the park. Number 19, my Montreal Canadiens, and I kind of like this. Like, it's not my. Usually overly critical of the Montreal Canadiens concepts because they are my favorite team. And yeah, I know I'm wearing Ottawa in this video. I like to. If you're new, I like to switch up jerseys for every video. But the Canadiens are my favorite team, and I'm overly critical of a lot of their designs. And I looked at this and I thought, that's so different. I don't think the majority of the fan base would go for it. But I do like it. Like, the collar on the white version is much better than the collar that exists now. Same with the dark version. The collar is much, much better. It's still classic at the same time. It still has the C, so I think it would work, but I really believe that the traditionalists, the traditional Habs fans and the Canadiens fans would look at this and think, what are you doing? So I'm not sure. I decided to put kind of late teens in my ranking. Number 18, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Not happy about ranking the Maple Leafs higher than my Montreal Canadiens, but I think it's probably a little bit deserving because the jersey is, or both jerseys, the white one specifically is more different than the current one that exists, but the logo is obviously the one that changed the most. And although it's not my favorite logo that I've seen from the Toronto Maple Leafs or concept, I do quite like it. It is very classic. And I think that's important for the original six teams. When you see a super modern jersey from the original six team, sometimes it works, but I think rarely. Most of the time, you want that classic feel from that original six team. You want them to stay true to their heritage and be simple, and it's kind of represented here. Number 17, the Anaheim Ducks. He kind of went a full rebrand here in a way with the Ducks, and I think he did a wonderful job. It's not the direction that I would go. I would love to see that, that green in there, that purple in there. But if we're going to stick with orange and black and white and remove some of the gold and whatnot, this was a really good, this is a really good example of that direction. He's changed the primary logo. And by the way, I don't know if he's actually making these logos or pulling them from somewhere, but I'm still going to talk about the logo. Whoever made that, whether it was Orion or someone else, I think did a really good job. It is much more modern than the current one. It still looks like a duck foot, but it's not perfect. There are better directions I think they could go as a brand, but he's done a great job here. He's taken in some of the angled striping from the original jerseys and brought it back, recolorized it, obviously, and the orange looks a little bit darker. It could be the template, could be my screen, but it looks darker, and I kind of like it. And the shoulders are done perfectly, I think, on both sides. So great job on this one, but not my favorite rebrand that I've seen from the team. Number 16, the Carolina Hurricanes. And the logo has drastically been changed. And I have personal graphical issues with the Carolina Hurricanes primary logo. There are weird spaces in between some of the angles where white is showing and it shouldn't be showing. It looks unfinished or unvetted. And this is a modern, tightened down version of that logo. It looks slightly like a frisbee being thrown, which is okay, but I definitely prefer it than the current logo. The shoulders look great on both jerseys. The pattern's in there, which is important. So he's on the right track here. Number 15, the Calgary Flames. He's gone full retro with Blasty, home and away, and it was a really good decision. I don't love the way that Blasty is colorized on either jersey, but I think he made a great decision here. He's got the C on the shoulders colored in white. That looks really good. He's got the striping nailed down. Just a really good job. Just not a huge fan of the colorization of the Blasty logo, so I decided to put it exactly mid-pack. Number 14, the New York Rangers. So we got the Liberty logo, which we all, well, I shouldn't say we all, I can't speak for everyone. The majority of people, and I think the majority of Rangers fans want this. I read the comments, so I know what people want, and I'm telling you, I see a lot of comments of people saying they want the Liberty to come back. So keeping in line with the same general styling of the home and the away. Throw in Lady Liberty in there. The away white jersey has changed a little bit on the front, and then the home has changed drastically actually on the front, because they don't have those lines, those same kind of lines there in the front of that jersey. So nice little addition. Number 13, the Seattle Kraken. Anything Seattle Kraken at this point is exciting. I have the jerseys on the way. Very pumped. If you want to see me unbox them, please hit the subscribe button. But yeah, this is pretty great. I don't know if it's better than the actual current jerseys that are, in market right now. But if they were going to make some tweaks, maybe they would go this direction. So I like these jerseys. Number 12, I put the St. Louis Blues. And while these aren't drastically different from the current home and away, I think Orion did a fantastic job. I really love the shoulders on both the shoulders and the neck. I'm not sure about the shoulder patch being on there. That might not have to be on there. But I think overall, regardless of the patch, if you just look at the rest of the jersey, I absolutely love what he's done here. And it's hard to compare against the home and away of the current St. Louis Blues jerseys, because they're just so damn good. They've just nailed them. So Orion specifically has done a wonderful job here. Number 11, the Tampa Bay Lightning. I love the fact that he's changed the logo up here. He's added in some black, which is awesome. He's got the kind of current logo as the shoulder patch, which I think is okay. And not a huge fan of the primary logo. I don't really like the Florida shape kind of being in there. Just it seems a bit awkward looking, but generally, yeah, better than their current brand in my opinion. Number 10, the Washington Capitals. So he's looked at their alternate that they just released at the kind of last half of the last season, and he saw, okay, well, they're going to use this as an alternate for the next 3-4 years. I think they committed to 4 years. And so what can I come up with that's going to match that but still be applicable to the brand? And what he's come up with here is really good. I know a lot of people would look at this and not like it because they do not like the alternate. They do not like the Winter Classic from a couple of years ago, that burgundy style one. But this is, I think half of Washington fans would be okay with this, or maybe a little bit less than half. But I personally really like this one. Number 9, the Winnipeg Jets. And I will say that I prefer the current Heritage style logo versus that one, but the rest of the jersey is perfect. Wouldn't change a thing. He made the right decision here. Number 8, we got the Ottawa Senators. So, very close. He's changed the shoulder patches up, which you can see on there. He's kind of using the old version, which I don't mind. These ones here on the shoulder are okay, but I like those ones as well. And he's added a bit of a pattern into this section here. And if you notice on his concept, his numbers are actually in a different location. He's put them above the stripe, where on this jersey they're actually on the stripe. I don't know if I prefer either way. I do like these numbers on this jersey here being on the stripe. I actually really, really like it. I didn't think I would until I saw it in person, and I confirmed, love it. So I think it's an okay decision that he did that, but just wanted to point that out, that I really like the current ones. Number 7, the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're a modernized version of the logo that everyone wants. He's put on here. I don't necessarily know if keeping the same general jersey design as far as striping and colorization to the current one is what's needed with that logo, but it does look pretty good. If that logo did come back, I would suspect for them to change the rest of the jersey as well, to kind of go a completely new direction. But with Mario Lemieux still involved, I don't think we're going to go, or I don't think we're going to see that, because I'm pretty sure he hates that logo. But anyways, could be wrong. Number 6, the Boston Bruins. Love this. Absolutely love their alternate. Love their Winter Classic. Their Winter Classic is one of my favorite jerseys. So although that's not identical to the one there, the white one, it's still similar in a way. It still kind of gets vibes of that. And I just think he's done a fantastic job here. Again, original 16, keeping it simple, keeping the striping simple, not too modern, just a simple B on the front. And I know how popular those jerseys are, specifically within the Boston Bruins fan base. So good decision making here, good concepts. Number 5, the Minnesota Wild. So I actually suspect that a lot of people would not have this in their top 10 because of the Subway thing. And it does look like Subway uniforms. I'm not going to say that it doesn't, but I was a huge fan of their reverse retro, and seeing the dark kind of inverse version of that he's come up with, in my opinion, is a fantastic decision. I absolutely love them paying respect to the North Stars, bringing that reverse retro back in, or in rather, and yeah, wonderful decision here from Orion. I like this one. Number 4, the Columbus Blue Jackets, and I always usually rank Columbus quite high because I love the cannon. I love the shades of blue that they use. I love that they use off-white, and I kind of like Edmonton. It's a hard brand to screw up if you throw in the right stuff, and he's thrown in the right stuff here. He's got their current primary logo recolorized on the shoulder, which looks really good, and then the cannon logo in the middle that's on their alternates, and then some stars actually on the sleeve as well, which they've used in the past, and or currently use actually in their home in a way. And yeah, just a great job here. I think the jersey would be better if the stripes aligned from the arms onto the backing striping in the middle on the same horizontal level, but that's being super nitpicky. Number 3, I put the Dallas Stars. I like the Dallas Stars home and away, but it does feel a little bit long in the tooth, even though it's not really that super long in the tooth. It kind of feels like it. They're getting to the point where they may want to consider doing something new, but not super different. And I think this is a good concept of that idea. And it reminds me of the Pittsburgh Penguins jersey as far as structure, coloring structure, but we get a new logo, which they've used, not as a primary logo, but just in general. I guess technically they've used a variation of it on that weird glow-in-the-dark alternate jersey, but it works here, in my opinion. It works on the front. I don't see it as a shoulder patch. I see that as a primary, and I literally wouldn't change anything about these concepts. I think he did a really good job. He or she, actually, I don't know if it's a girl or guy. Number 2, the Arizona Coyotes. So we just talked about the Arizona Coyotes. They just released the white Kachina, which is very exciting. We talked about that a couple of days ago on the channel. If you haven't seen the video, check it out. But he's come up with, generally the same jerseys in a way. The dark one is obviously different, and then the logo is the biggest thing that's different. But I actually don't mind that logo on the front. I think it works okay. It feels a little bit big. Some jerseys like that Washington Capitals reverse retro, the logo spans from like my armpit all the way down to like beside my belly button. It's huge. So as far as a fan wearing some of these jerseys, sometimes a huge logo can not be great. The logo he has on here feels very big. So I don't know, like the logo in this one's actually quite big, but I don't know why I'm talking about this, but it's just something I noticed that logo is a little bit bigger than most. So yeah, I really like these. I think he did a wonderful job, and I specifically like the Kachina pattern along the bottom. I like how he implemented that. Number 1, I had to put it. It's the Buffalo Sabres. It's not even that different than their current home and away. It's very close, actually. It's actually kind of a mix between their previous generation and then the current generation. And you can't hate it. Like the Buffalo just has it. They just have it. They've got that brand. It's the only thing they have, okay? Just give it to them, okay? Just give them the ability to have great jerseys, because they don't have much else. They don't have a captain anymore. Well, not recently. Okay, great design. Ryan, you nailed this one. I love Buffalo's brand. It's amazing. So that wraps it up. That is all of the jerseys. And I'm just going to close this out with my screen. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Hoping you're having a wonderful Friday, a good start to your weekend. If you are not subscribed to the channel, we'd love it if you go down, hit the subscribe button down below. If you like this video, hit the like button, and I'll see you in future videos in the coming days, and also next Friday for another Jersey Concept video. Adios. I don't know why I said that weird. Adios.